Welcome back to another live and amplified indie fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we're back at it again with another amazing podcast. Today, we are right smack dab in the middle of our pancreatic cancer fundraiser, and we have our next guest joining us. We have Matt Oakley. How's it going today, man?
What's going on? Happy to be here.
Glad to have you here. It's been a little bit since we've talked last, but seems like you've been busy releasing all kinds of cool music, and yeah, it's exciting to see.
Yeah, left and right. These days, I feel like running around like a chicken with my head cut off, but we're dropping music, just moved a couple months ago, getting all set up, getting the studio right and everything. But I feel like I'm in a good little spot now where my routine and just kind of taking care of itself.
Nice. And so, how long have you officially been in Nashville now?
Oh, here we go with this damn thing's going crazy on me.
Oh, it's all good.
Come on, now. Don't do this to me.
You got like a light? Is that what's?
Yeah, but it should just be. I've never messed with them settings one time. I just do it because it's obviously it gets dark around here.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, you're good, man. So, how long have you been in Nashville officially now?
July. So July, August, September, October, 4 months now.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's really cool. And you just released a new single, "Party on 95."
Yes,
How's the reception of that been?
great. That's one of the ones that's before we released it was I send my music around to some buddies of mine and kind of get people's feedback on, hey, what do you think about this one? What do you think about this one? And this one was one of the ones that everyone loved, and it's just super high energy, super engaging. It's got fast drums. It's got a bunch of instruments, and I feel like they all go together great. And everyone who's given me feedback on it so far has loved it. So hopefully that just keeps going.
Nice. And how long has this song kind of been in the works? Obviously, you passed it around a little bit, but
Yeah, so I sat down to write it like a year and a half ago, and then took it to Nashville about a year ago, and then ultimately mix master process sat on it. So I'd say start to finish from when it was just an idea, it was about a year and a half ago.
okay. So honestly, in retrospect, a relatively quick turnaround for.
Yeah, not too bad. There's definitely been ones that I've sat on for longer, but I'm glad I was able to kind of get this one. The process takes forever as it is. So this was, like you said, fairly quick for what it is.
Yeah, because like I mean, once you go through the submission process and like whatever copyright things you got to do and all that stuff, it's not an easy process.
Yeah, and everything takes its own time. So it's not like it's one big fluid thing. It's like this takes 4 weeks, and this takes 6 weeks, and this takes 8 weeks, and it's like, all right. So to get to I think that's why release day is so important to artists, is because they've done all the headache work, and now it's just time to click play on Spotify. So
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think people, because I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what went into making a song until I started making my own. And so when I just sit there on Spotify or Apple, I'm like, oh, they probably just recorded this and tweaked it and put it out. And that's not how it works, you know? So now that I see this process, it's such a relief on release day to be like, here's my song, go check it out.
Yep. Now on SoundCloud, that may be a little bit different, but
True. Yeah,
for
true.
for like Spotify and stuff like that, it's a whole different ball game. So, but just kind of looking forward on everything. Where are you kind of at right now? What are you working on? Are you looking at the next song already, or where are you kind of at?
Yeah, we have this one, you just want to do its justice for each song. We're still pushing this one, making content for it, planning some stuff around it. But it's going to be one of the songs that's on the album next year. I think when we originally talked, we was kind of flirting with the idea of when it was going to come out and all that stuff and building shows around it. But April of next year is when the album officially comes out. And this is one of the songs that's on it. Before that's going to drop 2 more singles, one of them being Fire and Water, coming out in January. Bit of a slower song, definitely fits like the winter vibe. It's a love song. So got that one coming in January, but until then, just enjoying the holidays with family and riding this Party on 95 one out for a little bit, and then ultimately packaging everyone that we've dropped so far out, along with a bunch of new ones on the album, and letting that do its thing.
100%. You know, it's definitely one of those fine balances where it's like, you know, how quickly do we release? And, you know, I think you got something good going on. Cause like, I mean, when we first talked, I think you were promoting Soldier's Son or getting ready to release that one, right?
Yeah, I think it was right around the time of Can't Take the Dogs. But over the summer, we dropped Single This Summer and
That's
Soldier Son
yeah.
pretty quickly around each other, but it's been pretty fast paced. We've been dropping songs, and I feel like today's day and age, you got to drop to keep up. So
Hmm.
we've been trying
Yeah.
to drop music as soon as we can, ultimately leading up to this. So definitely, since the last time we talked, things have sped up a ton, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm happy to get the music out there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And so you said Party on 95. This will be like the first single of the album for next year. What was it about this song that was kind of like, yeah, this needs to be the first one?
So no, I maybe I misspoke. So the songs, it's I've got some other songs that have been out, but all the
Mm,
songs that we did with the full session players in Nashville are going to be on the project. I think the
gotcha.
project is 14 or 15 songs. So Can't Take the Dogs, Single This Summer, Soldier Son, and Party on 95. Those are singles that exist
Okay.
already that are going to be on the project. It's one of those things where it's like newer artists getting it off the ground, give them the
Mm.
singles, let them live with them, get familiar, and then ultimately give them a bunch of new ones, but ones they also know. So ultimately, when we go do shows, hopefully we got some people singing them back to us.
Gotcha. That's cool. That actually that makes a lot of sense. Like it kind of harkens back to the old school grassroots days where you just do like, and I mean, realistically, kind of looking at it big picture, the music industry really hasn't changed all that much because, coming up, you're going to release singles until you're ready to put out an album. And then most of your singles that you've been putting out are going to be on that album anyways. So,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot has changed and a lot hasn't.
yeah.
It's like you just take it with a grain of salt. And in the beginning, I was kind of fighting it. I was like, I've got all these songs, let's just put it out. But it's one of those things where you got to let it take its time. And a bunch of new people have found the music, so I'm super grateful we did it this way, because ultimately, when the album does come out, we'll have a bunch of new ears on it,
Yeah.
tapped in and ready to listen.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So you'd mentioned that you're getting ready to just pull back a little bit and enjoy the holidays. Does that mean you're pulling back on shows as well, or are you still going out and playing?
Yeah, the last show I did was October, and
Mhm.
from then on, my birthday, and then Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, it's just like it's too much, and so
Yeah,
I'm pulling back on that, and then ultimately, when we get ramped back up, we'll have a single to drop, a bunch of content, we'll probably do some news shows, um, and then from there, really start locking in dates for festivals and
mm,
summer shows, and then ultimately, the goal is to do um, a Southeast College tour themed around the album that'll be fully out by then. So um, dialing it back for the winter and the holidays, and then once that single comes out in January, starting to really ramp it all back up. And it's much more of a process than I thought, but I'm ready to dive into it next year.
right. And you're in a good place to do it. Like you're in Nashville, so you've got all the support you need. So,
Yeah, I mean, you can go out on the street and find the most talented guitar player in the
yeah.
world. So
Oh yeah,
it's a great spot to live. It also it's motivating, because it's like I feel like I got to up my game every day. And it's something that I've kind of fallen in love with too, is that process of trying to get better. I don't claim to be the greatest guitar player, the greatest singer in the world,
mhm,
but what I do claim to be is someone who just loves the process of it. So I think that'll
yeah,
take you a lot further than people think, if you just have a love for it and keep chasing it. So Nashville's
yeah.
the place to be for now, and I'm happy I'm here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because you can go right down Broadway and see some of the most talented musicians,
Yeah.
even just busking on the street,
Yeah.
and it,
Seriously.
it's inspiring. I mean, as long as you're dodging the people that are doing other things and
Yeah.
passed out in the middle of the street, but
We'll have
it
their
is,
fun down here.
yeah. Uh, so how's everything else been going outside of music?
Great. I mean, I don't have anything to complain about. I think my life's in a real cool, like, I'm in a groove right now. I feel it.
Yeah.
And really what I'll say more than anything is, once the music kind of started to carry itself in a way,
Hmm.
and we had songs in our back pocket ready to go, and we have the album in our back pocket ready to go, and I can just write freely and create when I want, and there's no pressure to step away for a week or two and say, hey, I want to give my brain or my ears a rest from constantly trying to make music. I think it benefits me as a person too, because it's not like I'm struggling to find what's next, what's next, what am I going to put out, what am I going to write, what am I going to
Yeah.
take, and so it's like, I don't know, life's good right now, and I'm sure it'll, like we talked about, once it gets busier next year, my answer might be a
Yeah.
little different, but right now it's pretty much just plain old sit back, relax, and enjoy the
En-
ride.
Enjoy the ride. That's 100% the best way to kind of look at it right now. Because like, I mean, you've had a busy 2024. Like, I mean, even since the last time we talked, you've released 3, 4 singles, and even before then, like in 2023, you released a whole bunch of music. So it's like you're doing something, and you've got a plan for the future in 2025, and it's gonna be really cool to see watch everything kind of unfold naturally.
I appreciate that. It's been exciting, and it's one of those things too. You wake up, and if you really, when you're in the moment in the day to day of it, you're like, all right, we're just doing what we're doing. We're doing the
Yeah,
music. We're doing the shows. We're writing the songs. All that. We're putting out songs. All that stuff. And then if you sit back and you think of like, oh my gosh, it's the middle of November. Um, going into the last month of the year, and you look back at everything we did this year, and it's like, all right, we made up a lot of ground, and that only means that we have to double that or triple that next year and
yeah,
go even a little harder. So I'm ready for it, man. I'll say, um, when I first started, it was like, I want this right now. And I'm so grateful I didn't get it
yeah,
when I thought I wanted it, because I wouldn't have been ready for it in the ways that like I think I am now. I'm older. I understand the industry a lot more.
yeah,
I have a ton more songs. I have a lot better songs. I'm getting better at vocals. I'm getting better at guitar. Everything is just better. And so the more and more I realize, just trust God's timing, and it'll happen when it's happening, and it's starting to very heavily. So I'm grateful for it. But I'm going to enjoy this next 2 months a little laid back, and then
yeah, yeah, for sure. Are you headed back home for the holidays, or?
I'm going up to the Northeast to see my girlfriend's family, and then
Mm,
when I come back to Nashville, we have a couple band sessions. I got some singles that I'm wrapping up for after the album,
mhm,
um, and then I'm going to go to Virginia to see my mom,
mhm,
spend the holidays with her. Then I might head down to Florida to see my dad for New Year's. I'm not sure yet, but
yeah,
once I touch back down in Nashville, it's all systems go. So like I said, I'm really trying
yeah.
day by day until then.
Right, for sure. It's just kind of like you're in a good spot right now, enjoy it. And obviously the holidays make things a little bit more interesting
Yeah,
than it probably needs to be, but it
it
is
gives
what it.
me an excuse to not do anything too, though.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times oh wait, I'm like, what's the next thing I gotta do? I gotta do something. And now
Right.
it's like, all right, I got family time, I got the holidays, I've got traveling. It's like I have a reason to be lazy in a way.
Yeah, for sure. So over the next 2 months, is there anything you're like looking to reconnect with outside of music, like any hobbies or anything like that?
Um, I mean, I love working out. I'm trying to I It's hard when you're traveling all the time and
Yeah.
trying to get into consistent routine, but I feel like my mental state's a lot better when I'm constantly either running or lifting or whatever it might
Mhm.
be. Get Play a lot of golf, but it's so cold now that it's hard to do that. So
Yep.
I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't really thought too much about that. If I'm being honest, just having a day or two to veg out would be nice. So
Right. I
I
feel that.
take it as it comes, and any opportunities to get out and do something fun and different, or back in, like, if it's sports or lifting or whatever it might be, or just family time, I'm excited to get
Yeah.
back into it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've tried to get into working out a little bit, but it's where I live, it's such an inconvenience to get to the gym because it's like 20 minutes any direction that I go.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well,
You're
if I need
signing
an
up you're signing up for like 2.5 hours or 2 hours
yeah,
driving, working out, but it's showering when you get back and all that stuff. So it's like it's not just like 45 minutes of your day at that point. I'm lucky.
yeah,
I'm live in the heart of like Midtown Music Row.
yeah,
Yeah, so I got a gym that's like a block away.
yeah. It's, and we have a little like mom and pop gym, but it's one of those super expensive monthly premium because it's more of a CrossFit gym type
Yeah.
situation. And I'm like, I'm more of a Planet Fitness guy. Just
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, it's, and then I tried to golf this year. It didn't go well, so I think I'm gonna stay retired on that one. But at least I
A
tried.
hard
So
sport. It's a hard sport.
yeah, it was a very last minute decision, and everybody was like, "Hey, we need you to play in this charity golf tournament," and I'm like, I don't know if playing in a golf tournament is the best idea to kind of jump right back into golf, but I'll do it. And I think I lasted maybe 9 holes, and I was like, guys, I'm out. I can't do this. So
Hey, You knew at that point, you knew you were like, hey, I'm done. I've
Yeah.
given what I've got. You went out there though, and that says something. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like we came around like because we started on like hole 10 or whatever and played the back nine and then we were going to go to the front nine. And we came around hole 18 and we saw the clubhouse and I'm like, guys, I'm done. Like I can't
yeah,
do this. Like we were already playing slow as it was, and I wasn't really looking forward to playing another 3 hours.
yeah,
So yeah,
makes sense. Hey, it's one of those things where it once you're, if you don't even want, it's one thing to want to be out there,
yeah,
not playing great, but it's another thing if you're playing horrible and you're like, I don't even want to be here right now. So
yeah. Oh yeah. It was a whole thing. And
yeah, it's
then
fair.
we had the course marshal that was like on us the entire time and he was making it miserable. And it's just like,
Yeah,
dude, this is a charity golf tournament. Get off our back right
yeah,
now. So
fair,
yeah,
fair.
it was a whole thing. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so kind of looking forward, once January hits, do you have a release date for the new single or is that still all TBD?
I it's like the second or third Friday of January. I
Okay.
want to say either January 17th or January 27th, one of those Fridays.
Okay.
Um, I don't set my release dates anymore.
Yeah.
They just let me know. I know that it's coming. That's all I know.
Okay. Fair. Nice. 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 And then just wanted to thank you here again really quick
Yeah.
for joining us on our pancreatic cancer fundraiser. It's a thing near and dear to my heart, so I really appreciate you joining us. So
Yes, sir. Happy to be here. Glad to be here. Happy you had me on.
yeah, absolutely. If anybody wants to check out your music, all that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah. If you Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, wherever you get your music, it's just Matt Oakley. Oakley like the sunglasses. And if you want to follow me along the way on my socials, stay up to date on the album coming out, shows I've got for next year, you can find me on all my socials at Matt Oakley Music, and that's on everything.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you joining us. I hope you have enjoy the rest of your night. Like I know it's still relatively early on a Monday, but you know, it's cool. I appreciate you joining us. Thank you everybody for tuning in and we'll be back here in just a little bit.